Okay, so give you some of the background about Bloomsbury, right? So facing north of Bloomsbury, actually you get the unblocked view of the black and white houses in the Vivex area. Okay, so actually you can have an unblocked view of all the landed black and white houses. And at the same time, actually, growth story, right? There are two solid points.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Avenue 88 podcast. I'm Chantel.
I'm Benny.
And I'm Jackie.
Yes, so today we are diving into the facts and data of Bloomsbury Residences. Our team has recently developed the prime key analysis for analyzing project, which Jackie and Benny will be using to help them in their analysis in the review.
Yes, so this prime key analysis is a 10-step framework where we'll compare not just the attributes, but also other data like the entry price gap between the new launch and also the nearby resale condos, the developer profit margin, and also the nearby MOP cluster as the exit plan. So this is a scoring system to identify the investor-grade properties.
Yeah, indeed. It's a systematic approach, right, to give us clarity on how the project will do. And if you'd like to help us with any analysis of project or your existing property, you can scan our QR code or click on the link in our description below. So without further ado, let's just dive straight into the facts of Bloomsbury Residence. Okay,
Let's go.
So haha, steal my portion. Okay, so for Bloomsbury Residences, right, it's actually jointly developed by Qingjian Realty and 4C Holdings. So the project actually consists of 3 blocks of residential buildings, and under one of the block, there's actually a commercial portion as well, and on the first story. So the commercial portion actually consists of the F&B and retail shops. Quite nicely done up. I went to see the site model, and it looks really nice.
Yes.
Very
Just yesterday only,
English feel. Yeah, just busy yesterday. So it's also like a condo with full facilities, which includes tennis court, which is not a norm in a lot of new projects already.
Yeah, these new projects, we don't really have tennis court.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And something that I want to highlight about this project is also that the developer actually built it elevated.
Right.
So usually the nice thing about this elevated project, right, is that you get pretty good airflow within the project itself, especially in your facilities area.
Yeah.
So I thought it's quite a good approach that the developer has taken. So highly recommend you to visit the show flat and see the site model. Yeah.
Agree.
So back to the project, right? So in terms of car park spaces for those who drive, there is 143 residential car parks, of which includes 5 EV lots, which I think once again is quite forward thinking for the developer, because there's a growing trend of EVs.
It's kind of a must for a new project.
Exactly, yeah,
already.
good to know, because if not, like I know of some projects, right, that they only install it after the project TOP. So I think for EV drivers, sometimes it might not be as convenient.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that they already have this allocated
place,
inside.
yeah, agree.
Yeah. So now back to the developer. So in terms of developer, it's jointly developed by Qingjian and 4C, right? So in terms of 4C is relatively new in Singapore. Currently the more notable projects they have partnered with is other than Bloomsbury would be Hillock Green, which also has sold pretty well as well. So we can focus more on Qingjian, which is the more veteran developer in Singapore.
Yes.
So for Qingjian, they have more than about 60 years kind of history. So in Singapore itself, they have done various kind of projects, like include like DBSS, ECs, and also condos. So kind of have a kind of track record in Singapore, and also kind of like have a growth story in Singapore, because like they go through like a growth process of building their buildings a certain way, and after that they improve in their quality along the way. Because I mean, as agents, right, like initially we will hear certain things about the developer, but in recent years we do hear some good stuff, like especially with what they did with Jadescape, that the quality wise have really it has been quite impressive lah.
So personally, I've been to Jadescape quite a couple of times already. So I really like how the whole project actually looks and feel. When you drive into the basement car park, there's a grand lobby waiting for you, fully air conditioned, and the blocks are all nicely spaced out. So when you walk into any of the units, the interior fittings, everything is also nicely fitted. Very good color themes, I feel also the developer had come up with, which is why I think the reviews for Jadescape from most of the people who have went there is pretty good, pretty awesome, I would say. And this is one of the notable project to note from this developer.
Yeah, so indeed, I think for Jadescape, right, they really move through like a process whereby initially they are more well known for functional layouts, and then as they develop further, right, they actually also make their developments more tasteful as well. So I think right now kind of like maturing in the development
I
stage.
think Qingjian also like kind of like did the asset progression from starting from DBSS, then
Yes.
EC, private condo, and then like maybe
Yes.
OCR project, and then now to
Yeah.
Bloomsbury, which is an RCR.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that's why the stakes are quite high for them in this sense to do well, because this is really a transition point for them to move into more higher grade kind of project as well. Yeah.
Agree.
So Benny, maybe you can share more about prices.
Okay, so for the developer themselves, on launch day, they actually managed to sell 90 units. That is close to a 0.25% of the total number of units at Bloomsbury Residences. So, like what Chantel mentioned earlier, there's 358 units in total for this project, out of which actually during launch day, right, majority of the units sold are the 2-bedroom units, which forms about 70%. The rest are actually the 3 and 4 bedroom units. So at this time of recording, I just checked before we recorded, we actually sat down. Bloomsbury Residences is actually close to 38% sold today, translating to about 136 units in total. So still with 2 bedrooms still forming the largest bulk of units sold. And also there are 2 4-bedroom penthouses sold, 4 5-bedroom and 5 plus study penthouses sold, and 2 6-bedrooms plus study penthouses sold.
6-bedroom plus study. Wow.
Yeah, correct. So actually the penthouses are doing quite well, if you ask
Yeah.
me. So on launch day itself, right, one of the 6-bedroom penthouse were actually sold at about 2,700 per square foot, while the rest of the units are actually around 2,500 to 2,500 per square foot averagely.
Yeah, so actually I think majority of people these days actually they will go for the bigger size unit first. Yeah, then followed by maybe the 2-bedroom. And actually one thing is that 2.4 to 2.5 PSF these days I think is still quite very reasonable in the new launch market.
Yeah. So the 2-bedrooms, I think they managed to sell well. Is also probably mainly because investors looking to buy for rentals for investments. Because given the area itself, I think later I'll mention how the renters are doing over there. So for Bloomsbury, the closest rival, the Hill at One North, was launched actually in the first quarter of 2024, and the average price movements were around 2,500 per square foot as well, around the same range. And this is a slightly smaller project compared to Bloomsbury, about half the size at 142 units. For resale comparisons around this area, we have One North Residences, the oldest project probably in this area, Rochester Mall / Residences, One North Eden, and Normanton Park. So One North being one of the older projects that TOP in 2009, this project is actually transacting averagely at about 1,500 to 1,600 per square foot today, with some of the units actually hitting above 1,700 per square foot this year also. So the question, who are the buyers around the One North area? Mainly, who are the main buyers around the One North area?
Okay.
Do y'all know?
I suppose singles or young couples, as in like people who don't have kids.
Because of the offices
Because of the
nearby.
offices, the greenery.
I think most people who
It feels like
who
a very
work,
yuppie place. Isn't it?
yeah, people who work in that One North area. I mean, this is known as like the Silicon Valley of Singapore, right? Where all the tech and the R&D stuff are going on. Yeah, so I think usually will be the maybe younger couples.
Yeah, so actually if I look at the Avenue 88 prime key analysis, which Chantel actually introduced at the start of this podcast, we noted that most of the buyers for One North area media circle projects that are launched recently are existing private property owners rather than the HDB upgraders around the outside the same area, which is like Queenstown, Redhill, Commonwealth. You do see a lot of HDBs over there. So actually the proportion of percentage who are the buyers actually coming in to buy these projects are mainly existing private property owners rather than HDB upgraders. Next, we talk about rental demand. Actually, overall, I do personally feel that the rental demand is very strong over there. Because personally, I have One North Residences units for rent over there, and the rentals are doing very well. You do get a good pool of tenants coming in from people working over there, NUS, NUH, and also the officers over there mainly. They are the main drivers of the rental market over there. And if we look at once again the Avenue 88 prime key analysis, the rental yields for most of the project over there are actually doing above 3%. And if I were to quote the numbers in average percentage, right, Normanton Park actually is about 3.5. One North Residences is at 3.9% rental. One North Eden is 3.6. The Rochester is 3.8%. So overall average is about 3.7. Very good if you ask me.
Still
In
quite
today's
healthy.
market, in
Yes,
today's
yes.
market, the rental yield for this project and also all these are actually right next to each other or around the same vicinity, all doing so well. So not very often we see this kind of performance lah, if you ask me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then next I will touch on the location and the growth story of Bloomsbury. So Bloomsbury is located at Media Circle. The address is 61, 63 and 65. Okay, and the nearest MRT currently now is at 1 North MRT with a walking distance about 15 minutes because it's about 1 km away. And why I use the word currently, okay, is because there's a saying that there may be a new MRT nearby, which I will touch on later. Okay. And this 1 North is also, I mean, for people who doesn't really know, okay, so 1 North is like our Singapore's R&D area or like the Silicon Valley because it has a lot of a high technology cluster, which house about over 400 leading companies and also like 15 research institute or 5 institute of higher learning. And this business hub, right, is known to have at least over 50,000 knowledge workers.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that explains why the rental yield is
What
so high.
exactly are knowledge workers? Your researchers,
Like
lecturers.
high skill.
Yeah, so
people.
definitely will be those that maybe in the tech or maybe R&D or maybe in the
Yeah.
media,
A-star.
things like that. Yes. So the tenant pool in this area is very strong and it's ideal for investor lah, in my opinion. So at the same time, okay, if you are a foodie, okay, so you should have heard of this place called the Cold Bar.
Jackie's favorite place.
So I went there recently. Yeah, so it gives you a very nostalgic vibe of your primary school canteen. So I just went there like last week. And the place is very chill and quiet. And someone told me the pork chop is very nice, but I didn't try the pork chop. I only tried the fried rice.
After this, we can go and try.
Today. Okay. Okay, so this they serve like the fried rice also on a very small round plate. So really give you the primary school vibe. Yeah. And in terms of primary school around this Bloomsbury, okay, so there's within 1 km there's a Newtown Primary. Then within 1 to 2 km we have a Queenstown Primary and Fairview Methodist Primary.
So actually, in terms of number of schools around that area, I don't think it's a lot.
Yeah,
I think this
it's
is
not
also
a lot.
mainly why right now, in terms of people buying this area,
Correct.
you do not get so much of HDB upgraders.
Okay, frankly speaking, I mean like Media Circle, this area, like when people talk about Media Circle, we don't know that there is residential in the first place.
Yeah, correct.
Right? I mean, people only know 1 North that being like the office area and a lot
Before
of
all the
startup
other
and all.
projects were launched, there was only 1 North, and the next one was Rochester, I think.
Yeah, Rochester, yes. So I think as the time goes by, because I will touch on later also, is that there are many other government land sales, GLS plots around Bloomsbury as well. Okay, so give you some of the background about Bloomsbury, right? So facing north of Bloomsbury, actually you get the unblocked view of the black and white houses in the Vivex area. Okay, so actually you can have an unblocked view of all the landed black and white houses. And at the same time, actually, growth story, right? There are 2 solid points. One, the first one actually is like the first mover advantage. Because in this location now, this is the first residential plot that is being released, or I mean selling, launching now. Okay, so there will be a second plot up and coming, also by Qingjian. That is the Media Circle Parcel A. And of course, actually, we all know that Parcel B, recently there's no bidder. That one, the news was out in March. Okay. But in my opinion, actually, this may not be a bad thing because end of the day, this is still a confirmed GLS site. Meaning to say, like later on, it will still be released. And it's also good that there is a gap in between so that not all the units are going to TOP or like going to be launched around the same time. Then you have the competition.
Exactly. Kind of like a breeding space, right? Let's say if you're interested in Bloomsbury Residence, then this is good news because
yes.
kind of like give a little breather.
Yeah. And then actually there's also another site that was rejected also. That is the site SA2 site. Okay, so I will show you all the map. Okay, so this SA2 site actually means the service apartment. So actually the service apartment bidding was rejected because the price was too low. The one was by Fraser. Yeah.
Then it's good to know, right? Actually, the government is trying to maintain some level of
Correct.
price support and control in the
Yes.
area.
Yes. So meaning to say government is your gatekeeper lah. If the price is too low, they will not sell.
Master developer.
Exactly. Okay, so personally, I don't think it's a bad thing, like just to mention again,
Yeah.
because the launches are spaced out in the area, then you have a longer time for the estate to grow over time. Yeah. Okay, then second point I want to touch on is the strong exit plan. Because within this Bloomsbury, right, within 2 km, there are about 8,000 new BTO that's going to be ready. Okay, about 3,004 that's going to MOP in 2026. 3,004 units.
Wow.
So actually that is quite a big pool of MOP.
Yes.
And at the same time, there's another like about 4,000 plus to 5,000 plus of PLH around the vicinity also. So actually, I agree with Benny. At this point of time, we may not see a lot of upgraders, but as time goes by, I'm sure there will be more upgraders moving into this location.
Especially the younger families for the newly MOP clusters,
Yeah.
going soon to be MOP clusters, because Redhill, Commonwealth, Queenstown are already a mature estate. Really.
Yes.
The HDBs there have been for years.
Correct.
Not talking about the recently launched BTOs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the newer ones with newer families, younger families also.
Yeah. So other than the 4 or 5 plots GLS already confirmed, right, around Bloomsbury, there is another big plot of residential towards south of Portsdown Avenue. There is very big plot. Now
Yeah.
it's just forest area,
Yeah.
but it's subject to detailed planning.
Yeah.
So that one already zoned for residential. So I think if ever that this area like it will be revamped and then you will see a lot of residential places around this location. Okay. Then the last thing that I want to touch on is a bonus point. Okay, so it's the recent announcement of Tengah Line. Okay, so I'm very excited about this. Okay, why so? It's because this Tengah Line is supposed to pass through like all the way from Bukit Batok, okay, to Queensway, then Bukit Merah. So in a way, actually, it will cut through from the north to southwards of Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you look at the master plan, okay, because actually in the news article, it did say that it will cut in between the green line, the existing green line that we have, and also the circle line.
Yeah.
So in between.
Yeah.
So if you look at the master plan of the media circle again, there is this white side that is being plot ratio of 0.8.
Very suspicious.
Yeah,
Less than one.
White
Yeah,
side.
so what is less than 1?
0.8.
Okay, so just to give a bit of context, even like normal landed houses is already at 1.4.
Yeah.
So
That's
how
right.
can be a building that is less than shorter than landed house, right? So I mean that's why actually a lot of people we will say that actually that may be the new MRT that's forming, because just nice this is also in between the green and the yellow line.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
could be an interchange.
It could be.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go and check from the indies now, it really shows that there is some soil tests being tested. So of course, I mean, we can't say like this is 100% that there will be a new MRT at this particular site. But it's a high chance that it may happen, that it will cut through Media Circle 1 North area.
Yeah.
So I feel, personally, right, this is like playing blackjack, right? You have 2 and 9 in hand already, but not, okay? But not. And then the few players in front of you, they have gotten all the small cards. So in a way, the odds of you getting a picture is very high.
To get 21.
To get 21, exactly. So I can't say like this is 100%, but then very high chance that MRT will happen around the Media Circle area. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think with that, I think it's quite clear what is Jackie's decision during our check portion. So let's just go straight into the. Will you place a check for Bloomsbury Residence? Okay. So
I
Maybe I
get my
start off
check
first?
first.
maybe we start with Benny
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
So for me, I am 50-50 because the area isn't known for upgrading right now, as in it's more for investing. So
Yeah.
why 50-50 is because if I'm an investor, yes, I will look into this area given the good rental use that I previously mentioned, and
Yeah.
how popular it is among tenants to look into this area. It's actually quite central. Good accessibility to not just their offices around Singapore as well. But if it's for own stay, maybe I'll probably sit out for a few more years, see how it goes, see how any more, like what Jackie mentioned,
After
all
the
these
announcement is
yeah,
out.
all the announcements, all the new infrastructures over there, new buildings, the new amenities over there. Then it gives me a good residential vibe as a community to like for myself to stay there.
stay.
So it's 50-50 for me now.
Right.
So
For me,
Jackie, yeah.
Okay.
It's 100%.
Take my check now. Okay, so for sure, then I will place my check. Okay, so why so? Because like I said, sometimes actually we know that we shouldn't take the risk, things like that. But then I feel the odds of like having like put the MRT aside, with the existing attributes like the new GLS, the growth story, and also the existing rental support, I feel this is enough for me to place a check already.
Early entry.
Early entry, yes. And then before the announcement of MRT, that is, I think with the MRT is a bonus, definitely. Yeah, so I'll put my check. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. Cool. So for
Yourself,
me,
Chantel.
so I have a bit of mixed feelings with this area lah, because I think but I think it is more personal than factual, because if we were to look at the facts, right, I mean the numbers on paper really kind of just make sense in terms of its entry price, its potential, because you already have tenant pool in the area, and just very factually, all the numbers really, really make sense. So I think at first, I'm not so keen on the area, right? I think a majority is really due to like my personal feelings towards the area, because currently the area look quite cold, so that's why I don't have much feelings towards it. Yeah. So really don't feel much, right?
First mover advantage.
Yes, exactly. So so I think right now my it's so difficult lah. So I think I'm still at like a 50-50 for this project. Okay, and let me share why. I think because let's say if you're buying a smaller unit in Bloomsbury, right? It's really the capital growth really depends a lot on whether there will be an MRT station. Because if there is the MRT station, then yes, in terms of the rentals and the capital appreciation is gonna do well. So I think for the smaller units, that announcement really matters a lot.
Right.
Yeah. But I think, let's say if you're looking for a larger size unit, say 4-bedroom and above, that kind of size, right? Actually, Bloomsbury is kind of like a no-brainer in a way, because right, the layout for the units, especially for their 4-bedroom premium, right, is really very nice. So I think among like the new developments right now, right, this layout is easily one of the best, and I think people who can afford it, right, would like it. Yeah, and I think this is a reason why the penthouses sold really well during launch, and despite like having a higher PSF, like because the median PSF actually is about 2004 to 2005, but the larger size unit actually can achieve 2700 PSF. So I think it says a lot about the kind of exit that you can expect next time when you're selling larger size unit,
or
and
the
also
confidence that the buyers have.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
and I also think that usually for the larger size unit, because it's for own stay, right? So the MRT factor might not be the most key thing. Yeah, so that's what I think. Let's say if today you're someone who are looking for like a really large size unit for enjoyment, right, then it really can go for it, because whether there's an MRT or not, it's not going to affect you that much.
Right.
Yeah, so
take it as a bonus.
correct, because right now I only got budget for like 2-bedroom, so that's why I cannot put a check yet. 50-50. Yeah. Okay, so that will be my conclusion for Bloomsbury lah.
Right.
Yeah, so with that, we hope our analysis today is helpful for you. And like we mentioned just now at the beginning, right, let's say if you do want us to use our recently developed system, right, to help you analyze any new launch project or your existing property, right, you can actually scan the QR code or click on the link below, and we'll be happy to help you. And once again, if you find our content helpful, do like, subscribe, share with a friend, and till next time, we'll see you. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.